Hello. Alrighty. So I can be heard. That's good. Um. Yeah, it's up. I'm gonna wait for people to get here actually to start this. Hopefully, certain people will get here. Yeah. Um, it is 7 o'clock, but we haven't really gotten a chance to start yet. Hmm. Hopefully everything's okay. Um, I do want to wait for people to get here because if there can't be no one here. Oh my god, could you like not be stupid for 5 seconds, Ben? Come on. Because I'm not starting a quiz thingy until people get here. I mean, that would be kind of stupid. Can't just start that if host to nothing. So, yeah. We can't just be sitting here alone because once somebody gets here and we could start this stupid thingy, I can go with the intro. So we'll see how that goes. Nearly sit here for 10 minutes. We'll see. We'll see. Excuse me. Great things to have happen. Yes. Me. You know what? I didn't add things. So I guess while we wait here, I can just add images. Yep. This is very good because I forgot to put in the pictures like an idiot. Because you see, that would have made sense, and I'm not a person that does smart things all the time. Well, this is way larger than it needs to be. Thanks for always making things the right size. Oh, wait, that's right. You never do that. Yes. And apologies for all of this. Just, if you're watching this online, you will know that literally no one is here. So yeah, once someone else gets here for this, we'll start the everything up because we got to start with the Dale 1 live stuff. Yeah. Could you not show these all the time? Whenever I load them up, seriously? This is why you prep for things, actually. Most people that are smart, they prep. I wasn't smart and I didn't prep. So a note for all of you guys, prep. So, yeah. Yeah, this is actually kind of embarrassing. Because I'll do that once everyone gets here. I just gotta load in some stuff. So, apologies for doing all of this. This is what happens when you think going live is a great idea. And then you don't prep. So, note to all of you out there, when you expect to have the ability to prep, don't assume that you can do it. But it's almost 7:10. So, at least, let us get the intro out of the way. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ben Schluter, and welcome to episode 12 of Goal to Go Live, or as it's known, person sitting here doing nothing until other people get here. Because there's a trivia thingy, and you need other people to answer the questions. See how that works? I hope you do, because it'll make sense. Oh, look, you aren't that bad. Well, at least something has finally worked. Someone has finally shown up. Yeah, me? I was just waiting for other people because, lol. Yeah, somebody showed up. That's good, because, yeah. Yeah, so, I guess. Man, I had things planned for person. Oh well. Let's hope this works out very well, because. It better. I might as well start the trivia thingy, because. Well, it ain't gonna start itself. If it started itself, to be a really big problem. So, yeah. Let me just move back up to where I was. By the way, like I say, feel free to jump in at any time. I am in the Discord server, which is linked in the description, and I am, like, talking throughout and, like, I guess, bored. But you don't have to, if you don't want to. Let's just get this going on with the very first question. Question number 1. How many stadiums have played host to home Saints games? 6, 7, 5, or 4? Yep. Remember, you get more points for answering it quickly. Time is up. So, in the history of the Saints franchise, Tulane Stadium hosted Saints games from 1967 to 74, then the Superdome from 75 to present, Giants Stadium, Tiger Stadium, and Alamo Dome all hosted in 2005, then Wembley Stadium hosted in 2008. So, if you take those numbers, you will get, that's 6. 7 would be correct, but the Saints played that game against the Dolphins as the road team, not as the home team. Yes. So, yes. Alrighty. Next question, which was supposed to work for a person who could have gotten here but didn't, lol. The next question. What was the first nickname used by Arizona State University, then the Territorial Normal School? Normals, Indians, Bulldogs, or Owls? Time. Well, you see, they never used the Indians. Bulldogs and Normals were later. The original student body voted for the Owls. Normals only came a little later. They wanted the Owls, which makes sense in Arizona. Yeah, that makes sense. What? And the final question. Yeah, well, they were designed for a specific person in mind who keeps not showing up, but that's fine. Yeah. Final question. So the Jets have had 6 head coaches whose only experience came with that franchise. How many lasted for more than one season? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Again, these are the 6 coaches who've only coached the Jets. They've never coached any other pro team. And time is up. So, Bulldog Turner coached the team in 1962 when they were known as the Titans. He went 5-9. Ken Shipp served as interim head coach for the final 5 games of 1976. He went 1-4. Lou Holtz resigned before the last game of the 1976 season. He went 3-10. Al Groh went 9-7 in 2000. The correct answer is 2. Walt Michaels from 1977 to 1982, he went 41-49-1. That included a 2-2 playoff record. He also somehow won UPI and PFW Pro Football Weekly Coach of the Year in 1978. Then it was Joe Walton, his immediate predecessor, from 1983 to 89. He went 54, 59, and 1, which included a 1-2 playoff record. Well, you win. And thank God that's over, because frankly, I was hoping we could get started at some point. Because, golly gee. Now, yeah. And by the way, feel free to hop into the chat thingy, like, whenever. Because it's time for a look at the NFL schedule. Anyway, yes, the schedule. Hold on, let me just add one more schedule. Because I know I downloaded it. Wow, that's actually really small. Lol. I really should have done something about that. Anyway. Same schedule. Let's look at it. Yeah. So the NFL schedule was released on Wednesday. And frankly, it's rather interesting, to say the least. So let's start off with the New Orleans Saints schedule, considering it's my team, and that's how we tend to start everything. Yeah, I look at the schedule, and I don't hate it, but I mean, just... So, first of all, the Saints have 5 primetime games, which is a lot. Especially for a team that's not expected to do super well. And so, I mean, I get it. Everybody wants to come to New Orleans and all, especially with all of the COVID restrictions going away and stuff, but like, you really want to put us on primetime 5 times? Oh, okay. So let's look at the schedule one by one. So, opening the season against the Packers. Well then, thanks for that game, NFL. You know, I would say I hate you, but like I really even just more in...
Yo, what up?
Oh, hello.
Who?
Hello, Kiwi.
Yeah, I was doing a thing
Yes.
called cooking, but now it's
what
done,
were you
so
cooking?
you can
Chinchilla?
stare at the stand schedule. That's a good answer, because it's true.
Anyway, so yeah, opening the season against the Packers. The good news is it's a home game. The bad news is it's the Packers, and
It's okay. Jordan Love is not that menacing, I think.
I mean, I think it's gonna be
Okay.
Rodgers. I mean, I hate this freaking stupid thing. It's like people are freaking out because Aaron Rodgers liked a tweet that was like about a festival in New Orleans, and it's like you can get free tickets, but only if you play for a certain team, and it's like, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo, let's overreact. Fucking guy might have thought it was funny.
It's a little funny.
But yeah.
Rodgers is funny.
I mean, honestly, we gotta predict records right now, and I hadn't even thought to do that until right this second, which was a smart move. But yeah, I think it was a good move to at least put the game when they did it. We were gonna play the Packers, but like, you could have done it any other time. And you chose to do it early. Like, do you not, NFL, please stop making us have hard opponents early. We suck early in the season. Please, especially like last year. The Packers last year was like, guys, you knew we'd be fighting for a playoff spot. You just screwed us out of a potential, like, tiebreaker. Come on. I mean...
Yeah, it's like... it's a little tough. Packers are obviously super good, and you would prefer to face them when, like, I guess you could say, like, when, like, Jameis gets more into it, start starting games, which
Yep.
he still hasn't done.
Yeah, he's got to get more
Like,
acclimated to the
yeah.
offense.
Although it would be funny if, you know, if it does end up being Jordan Love and it's just two QBs getting their first starts on their teams.
Two guys who became infamous for their interceptions. The last time Jordan Love threw a pass in a regular season game, he did it as the leader in the country in interceptions, which is, of course, a great thing to be. Yeah.
Pretty good.
I mean, it's one of those weird things where it's like, wow, this dude had a great sophomore season. This guy's going to be like a first-round draft pick. And then his junior season comes around, and it's like, okay, so you had about the same amount of no talent, and you played like dog shit, and it wasn't like you were playing better competition, besides like LSU and all, but that's like, still, that doesn't explain you throwing, I think he threw 4 picks against UNLV, which is a sin. Because it's like, UNLV is really not good. And you throwing that many picks against them shows that you are not that good. We just gonna... Okay. So yeah, I pencil us in as starting 0-1. But then we have the Panthers. And the Panthers they need some help. However, they have Christian McCaffrey, and he's healthy, and we didn't get to face him last year, and he scares me, and he should scare everyone. And the problem is he's working with a very good offensive coordinator, as I saw personally and really marveled in. I mean, like, you put a guy like that in the open field. The one thing is, it's going to be Sam Darnold is weird. Because is he going to show up, or is he going to completely fall flat on his face?
Yeah, the Panthers really could just go off, you know. They kind of have the tools. CMC is huge. Darnold could be good, as we know. They have the weapons. Their defense is literally good as well.
JC Horn.
It's scary. Yeah, they have JC Horn now. Just remembered that. So yeah,
I mean, I seriously think that's a 50-50 game, because it's also the division. And it's like, because I think the Saints won't really get into it, and it's like another reason why it's kind of a bit of a bitch that we got to play the Patriots' third game. But I think because I don't know where the Patriots are going to be with their offense. Their defense is going to be way better, but I could genuinely see the Saints starting 0-2, 0-3. But for this game, I pencil us in as a loss, but I think that's right now. It really is like way too early to tell who's going to be even the starter for that game, because we don't even know if it's technically going to be Jameis, but like it's 99% going to be, like, if it isn't Jameis, then I will be very shocked. It's like, what's happening here? But
it's
yeah,
okay,
then you got the Patriots.
We'll save the season.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd play the Patriots early, actually, because I didn't want to go to because I didn't want the Saints to go to Foxborough in December, because God knows nothing good happens in Foxborough in December. Nothing good can happen from that. So playing them a little earlier when the weather's better, that's good. Jameis really needs to get that test. That's his first true road test. I think like into the division is one thing. He's already played the Panthers in Carolina for several years. It's not something he's not used to. Playing in New England, he's never done that. He's just never done that. Because since this... Oh, no, wait. Yeah, he probably has, but he was a rookie. Yeah, no, that was 8 years ago. I'm being dumb. He wasn't in the league 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
Yeah, because it's a 4-year rotational thingy. Because that's how you knew basically which teams we were going to play, and then things got a little weird with that whole 17th game, because it's like, who's it gonna be? And I'm like, why did you add this? But that's a separate rant for a second. I think the Patriots are gonna be a damn good team this year. Don't sleep on them. They have a good defense. Their defense was terrible last year. Yeah, but they had so many opt-outs, and now they've rebuilt that. They've got a 2 tight end set that has 2 tight end ones, which makes no sense to me, but I don't know. Fuck it. Cam Newton's not the future. He's going to be starting for a little bit, and then they'll see what Mac Jones does. Which, congratulations, you guys drafted an overglorified replacement for AJ motherfucking Karen. who's a really bad quarterback. Just
Hey,
absolutely.
in an alternative universe, he's a saint, you know. We trade up for him, you know.
Stop reminding me of the fact we tried to trade up for Mac Jones. Oh my god, I would have died. So yeah,
Saints ledger.
Saints go 0-3. Then we got the Giants at home. Thank the gods we get something going for us. Because here's the thing. We may be beatable, and a lot of people are saying that, oh, we're more beatable. This is the Giants, and their defense is suspect. Our offense is not. Our run defense is something that wasn't suspect last year, and hopefully it'll be good this year. It's pass defense. It's Daniel Jones. I don't see it. I haven't seen it. Saquon Barkley could run all over us if he can get past the run defense. But our run defense, I feel like, is still going to be really good. We invested heavily in that front seven with our first 2 draft picks, so they're going to have to try and throw the ball. Granted, you know, Kadarius Toney do go fast, but I don't know. I think this is going to be the first winnable game. And then we play Washington.
Yeah, it's like I just straight up don't believe in Daniel Jones. He just doesn't win games. Like last year, when he was freaking injured, the Giants won against the freaking Seahawks with Colt McCoy because they don't need Daniel Jones. Their defense was solid enough, and I don't know, Wayne
Daniel
Gallman
Jones
was
can
pretty
only beat
good,
Washington.
I guess.
And that's the only team he can beat.
Yeah,
because it's the only team he basically beat. That and the Bucks. The only teams that he can even remotely beat are Washington and the Bucks. For some stupid reason, those are magic
particular
power.
reason. I don't think there's really a reason to believe in Daniel Jones that much. We'll see, obviously, but like, man, he only loses games. He only fumbles and intercepts at key points, and that's really rough.
Yeah.
Albeit, we have Jameis, so like, you know, let's hope this all this talk doesn't backfire. But yeah, Jameis 30 for 30. I don't see any 30 touchdowns from Daniel Jones, you know.
Yeah, that's
he
true, but I
he
don't see
just
30
isn't as
picks.
dynamic, I
I just
guess.
see 30 turnovers because, fumbles and picks. You can't really throw 30 interceptions when you keep fumbling the damn ball half of the time. But yeah.
Basically.
And then
Yeah.
comes week 5, the week before the bye week, which is against Washington. Okay, if we don't win that game, I'm going to be very, 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 very confused. I feel like we should be going into the bye week with a 2-3 record. I feel like Washington's offense is somewhere. I don't know where it is. Did you guys... I mean, I know your draft position was terrible. Because you guys making the playoffs wasn't exactly great for you. And then the Bears had to trade up. Had to, basically required to, because, yeah, starting Andy Dalton this year would have been great. Hey, great investment you made in Nick Foles, $9 million contract.
Nick Foles, dude. It's really funny.
Whose idea was it to pay him $9 million? Oh, wait, the same team that paid Mike Glennon way too much. Just... You saw what he was doing in Tampa. Why did you pay him as much money as you... Okay. Oh, that's fine. Anyway. Yeah, Washington. Their defense scares me. Their defense just scares me. Not their offense. And frankly, I think their offense won't be good enough to get through our defense, and our defense isn't going to be that great. I don't think they have the weapons. I don't know who they're... If Fitzpatrick's still going to be their quarterback, I don't know about that. But that's also bad, because it's like, it's also Fitzception, and Fitzception is, if you don't believe in him, he's just going to ball. But if it's week 6, he's going to have fallen off. Right? Right? Please?
Yeah. It's a little interesting, I think, the whole Fitzpatrick thing. I think he literally was good for the Dolphins last year, that is. Obviously, he wasn't that great the year before. But, like, yeah, he won games. He was pretty good. I guess that team in general was good, right? But this team, the Washington team, is also pretty good, all things considered. It's like they mainly lost because of the offense. Kyle Allen just didn't do anything in the start of the season. Then they had to put in Alex Smith, who that one is really interesting. In theory, like it's really interesting. When you looked at Alex Smith's stat line last year, it was accursed. It was kind of really bad, or like pretty bad. And yet the record doesn't lie. He like won games anyways.
Defense.
So that's just kind of crazy.
A,
But yeah,
defense.
is
B, Riverboat Ron
Fitzpatrick?
is kind of broken.
Yeah,
And then
is Fitzpatrick an upgrade? I think so.
I think they're not. He's not a downgrade. Is important.
Yeah.
They're a team that I genuinely think can win their division. I'll have to, because again, part of the reason, how does a team win? And it's like, well, part of it's help with the schedule. Saints have a week 6 bye. The Bucks have a week 9 bye, and last year they had a week 13 bye. And like, I like the fact that the Bucks get a week 9 bye. Actually finish out the season now, you bastards. God, I hate the fact they had such a late bye. It's like, how did they look so fresh and ready for the playoffs? Gee, I wonder.
Pretty.
It's almost as if a bye helps you. Look at the Steelers.
It's pretty funny.
But then,
yeah,
then the Seahawks.
What's it called? Football team is a menace. I think the Chargers are facing them week 1, and like I think that's going to be a really good litmus test because they are menacing. That defense is insane and is going to win them games, and probably it probably will be up to Fitzpatrick whether those wins get turned into losses or not. We'll see.
Yes. Hey, Steeler fan, you're not talking in the stream chat.
Oh, that's in the Discord.
Yeah, that's in the Discord, mate. The lack of bye hurt bad, yeah. That's pretty funny, actually. No, that's great. Anyway, yeah. Seahawks. Speaking of things that come off byes, Saints are pretty historically good at games coming off of byes. However, 2 years ago, we had a game coming off a bye, and that didn't. No one, okay, but Steeler fan, no one can see the chats in the Discord. You can type them in the stream chat, and then people can see them later. I can see them, other people can't. Gotta think that way.
This much is true. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, this are whack. They had no picks. They
their defense
probably
is weird,
did things in free agency.
So
I wouldn't know.
I pencil them in as a loss, and frankly, I think this team is not going to be great. And looking at the schedule, and then we have a home game against the Bucks. Now, fuck the Bucks, just so much.
On Halloween.
On Halloween, on a short week. Oh my god, I hate the Bucks. Oh my god, I hate you, Brady. I hope you do not do anything good this year, and like I wouldn't wish injury on you, but like, oh my god, I hate you. Please, somebody just sack this man 50 times. I hate everything about it. How did you bring back your entire offensive line? How did you just stop?
How did they? It really is accursed.
It's so.
But yeah, they're here. And we have to face them twice a year.
But anyway, the first
but
one...
hey, they're the revenge game, right?
The revenge game, true. I mean, here's the thing. I don't think the Bucks are going to sweep us. Because, like, they have a bad pass defense that's made up for with a good pass rush. If we can just get a decent... if our power run game is working at the same level it was, like it did in the other 2 games last year, we should be able to beat them. A reminder, we beat the crap out of them with an injured Drew Brees. He wasn't playing at a healthy level both of those games. Then we still beat him.
Yeah.
And I get those were Bucks teams that hadn't come together and become their own, but now we've seen all their tricks. We know what to do against them. And it's like, that's one thing about it. It's like, they can adjust, yes, but everyone knows who those guys are. They're not just going to magically get 100 times better in the offseason. So it's like, oh, sweet, boom. You just get it over the middle. Get it out of there quickly, boom.
And yeah, we'll be warmed up as well. Like, still kind of off of the bye. We'll see if we do well against the Seahawks or not.
I mean, I honestly
I think it'll be nice.
I think we can honestly take
Like,
that
we
game
could totally
from them.
get into a groove around this part of the season.
I think, yeah, and
It'll be
especially
very
with that
nice.
Falcons game, the Falcons game should be one where we should win. Because the Falcons decided to take Kyle Pitts instead of addressing a real need for them, which was defense. Because, yeah, I get you want Kyle Pitts, but your defense? Did you forget about that? It seems you forgot about your defense because you were 4-12 for a reason. Wasn't your offense. Your offense was pretty good. Your defense completely forgot how to play well down the stretch of games, and you lost. That's why I had them mocked to get Patrick Surtain and not freaking Kyle Pitts, because I decided to draft based on need, so I guess the Falcons are doing exactly the illogical thing I should have expected them to do.
Yeah, it's just I still find it a little crazy that they did so badly, but yeah, they're just not good. That defense is not good. It
And
didn't
they
really
have an
get bolstered
offensive head
that
coach.
much.
They have an offensive-minded head coach, and I get
Yeah.
it because you need that, but just know. Just know. Then the Titans.
Like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to get through this because I don't want to go too long, but then again, this thing usually goes an hour and a half, so woohoo! Anyway, Titans. I think we can win that game, but holy
17th
crap.
game.
Just, Derrick Henry is so scary. The last time we played the Titans, we didn't have to deal with Derrick Henry, and we blew them out for a good reason, because they didn't have the offense. But now now they have an offense. But like,
Titans,
I think we can beat them. Their secondary is, well, they got something. You guys are really screwed up in the offseason. They had no cap room, so they had to release.
They got Farley, right?
Yeah, they got Farley. They have Janoris Jenkins, which is great. We can probably rely on him to get another pass interference penalty. Woohoo!
Ayo.
God, who the heck? I don't know what their secondary is going to look like, but Derrick Henry's just going to have to run for 2,000 yards again for them to be in any way competitive, and I do not see them making the playoffs if they can't figure that out. If they can figure that out, they'll make the playoffs, but
Yeah, AFC is just savage, man.
Yeah.
We saw what happened last year.
Yep.
And so, yeah, you're going to need to do super good. And the Colts are right there, so you're not winning the division for free either.
Nope.
Colts are also really good. Probably.
Next up,
But we'll see.
in Philly in November. Great. That's a great
geez.
place to be. Yep. So, in Philly in November. I don't like that, but like the Eagles are also kind
Revenge
of
game.
Yeah,
We'll just
revenge
beat
game
them.
for last year. One of these games is a trap game. I don't think that's the trap game. The Jets are the trap game. The Jets on the schedule are the trap game.
You are facing the Jets.
We face the Jets after we face the Cowboys. It's a long week. It's a long week. That's one of those types of things that it gets me where it's like, if we have a game that I think we shouldn't lose, but we do lose it, it's the Jets game. Not this game. I don't think the Philadelphia game's going to be that kind of a game. But I think we can beat them. I think that the Eagles are just not good. They're such a mess right now. Okay, cool, you have Devontae Smith. You want to look at your defense for a second? Did you forget about everything that happened last year? It's called depth. Get it.
Yeah, they got destroyed by injuries. And I'm pretty sure Hurts' only win was against us.
Yeah, it was. It was the only win they had the rest of the year, which wasn't embarrassing at all.
Yeah.
Oh, but he gets Devontae Smith back. It's like, no. Was it Devontae Smith? Yes, it was Devontae Smith. I had
Yeah,
to double
it
check it.
was.
Yes.
They
It's like
traded
he
up
gets
for
him
it.
back. It's like, good. You use him though, and like also hope your defense doesn't completely shit the bed. Then we have the Bills. Now,
Short week, by the way.
short week. At home though. But this is not the same Bills team we ran all over and scored 6 rushing touchdowns on the last time. Last time we played them, we only scored 6 touchdowns, and they were only rushing touchdowns. Even Breeze got in on the action. Yeah. That was in Buffalo.
Good.
This is not that type of team. No, this is a Buffalo team that wants to come in and kick ass. Here's the thing. They need defense, and I think they will have... This will be around the time, the heart of the season, where you're going to see the Bills are going to be competing for top spots in the AFC. I think that the Chiefs are still going to be trying to get that number 1 seed, but the Bills are going to be saying, knock, knock, motherfucker! It's us! Hey, remember us from the AFC Championship game? Okay, yeah, actually, you blew us out. Never mind. Yeah, I think the Bills will win that game, but I don't think they'll get it easily. 6-5 Saints going into another Thursday night game against the Cowboys at home. Hey, NFL, could you not do this to us, please? It's annoying. At least it's a home game.
It sure is.
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys are interesting because you have Dak Prescott, you have Ezekiel Elliott, you have a run defense now? Do you?
Yeah.
I'm genuinely questioning
that draft, dude.
They did a great
All
job
defense.
with linebackers.
Just kind of crazy.
Yeah, six defensive guys, 2 linebackers, one of which is going to be better than the other, and it's not their first round draft pick. I think Parsons is going to be good. I think Jabril Cox is going to be the guy they're like, who the hell is this, and why is he so damn good? Okay. Because I saw him play this year, and it's like, we had no defense. Except for, like, him, he was, like, the best player we had. He was the best player on the defense by far because Derek Stingley was injured. But I think with the Cowboys, it's a toss-up. I think it's a toss-up because of their defense, and it's a toss-up at home. Not away, at home. We tend to win toss-ups at home more than we do away. I usually give that... a full Superdome, if it's a toss-up, you give the advantage to that kind of crowd.
This is true.
Then comes the Jets, and this is the trap game.
The Jets.
The Jets
Lord.
are... It's going to be interesting, too, because I don't know what they're going to be doing. Zach Wilson's going to be a thing. They will have... I don't know what the hell they're going to be running for their offense. Their defense should be decent. But the Jets this year are just not going to be ready. Because they have a full-scale rebuild to go. They are going to be probably a bottom 10 team in the NFL. They're looking at a top 10 draft pick. Which is good for them because they need to rebuild their everything. Their secondary is going to be what's going to be important in this upcoming draft. Genuinely, they may need to get a top 3 pick. They want to get Derek Stingley at this rate. Their secondary is just... I don't get it. There's bad, and then there's... You have undrafted guys covering Jalen Waddle because you literally don't have anybody else. I'm sorry, not Jalen Waddle. Although they probably will be this year. Yes, because Jalen Waddle's on the Dolphins. They'll still have that problems with Ruggs. Or Jerry Jeudy. Why can't I remember? Do you understand how annoying it is? Because all these damn Alabama wide receivers just keep melding into one very annoying monster I hated dealing with. It's not like we have to deal with them.
Funny.
I don't know if our corners can cover him, but like we'll get... We don't have to see them except for Smith, and hopefully we can cover Jalen Hurts. God, he scares me because of his running ability. Same with the Jets game. I think we should win it, but it's a trap game. Then Jameis's revenge time.
That's just scary.
Jameis's true revenge game. Now,
Part 2.
It's Tom Brady in
sequel.
December, and he tends to be pretty clutch. So I'd give them that advantage. and I think they'll do it. But like 8-6. If we were 8-6 coming into that week, I'd be very happy with the team and how it looked. 8-6 with 3 games to go, we'd probably be competing for one of the last wild card spots because I don't see the NFC being that good.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
Then we got the Dolphins, which would be very tough to win. Very tough. Because they're
season closer, huh?
Just
that's like, yeah, that's pretty scary. Dolphins are scary.
I mean, I think they'd beat us. I think we'd fall to 8-7. Then we got the Panthers at home, which I think we would win that game.
Oh, I see.
Because I think the way it works is I think we're gonna split with Carolina and with Tampa, and then we're gonna sweep the Falcons. So I think if that's true, then we would be at 10-7, which I think is not unreasonable. And in fact, I've said the Saints could be one of those kinds of a 10-7 or a 9-8 type of thing. And I think looking at that schedule, it's pretty good for that to happen. I think if we were to fall to a 9-8, it would be to something like a Jets loss or something like that. But in general, predicting the Saints record, 10-7, and wow, that took way longer than I thought it would. Before we get on to the NFL moves, we got to talk about the fact that the Jaguars signed Tim Tebow. What?
They sure did. Hey, you said yourself they have a need at tight end. So yeah,
I just didn't know how desperate they'd be. Just there's bad, and then there's downright dreadful, and that's what you're looking at right there. Because really, I mean, it's low risk, high reward, except for the fact that it's a media firestorm if he makes the roster. If he makes the full roster and he makes it through preseason and into the regular season, onto the active roster, oh my god, the firestorm. The media circus that's gonna cause. Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, honestly.
Yep. But you think that's funny. Talk about the Raiders adding a club to their end zone. Why?
Oh, yeah.
Why are you
Those are the Raiders, man. Football's like the last thing they care about.
I mean, I know it's Vegas and all, and it's gonna have like full bottle service and a DJ. So first of all, how are you gonna hear the music? It's a 70,000 seat stadium that should be filled with screaming fans. How are you gonna hear the music? Number 2, the NFL has rules about when you can play music. So you can't play music during plays. So do those rules apply to your club? Because that'd be kind of weird. Especially like you couldn't play music if the opposing team's backed up at their goal line. And that's towards you. You couldn't do that. Also, just... the fuck? Okay. I'm trying to find a way this makes sense. Mike Mayock was being interviewed on the Rich Eisen show. He apparently didn't know about it.
How do you not know
He's
about
the general
what's going
manager,
on?
but he's probably not involved with marketing. He's involved with running the team. So, like, he's not involved with that kind of stuff, and it had only been announced, like, the day prior, but still. What the Well, Raiders, you've really one-upped yourselves in the goddamn what an idea department.
They're the Raiders.
You've truly
Everyone
upgraded.
Do that.
You used to play your games in a baseball stadium. Now you're playing your games in a nightclub. Just, oh my god. You couldn't. I get having a swimming pool in your stadium. A lot of minor league parks do that. I get that. Even with the Jaguars thingy. It's like, that makes sense. I get having club level seats, but having an actual club with bottle service. What this? Someone came up with this because they knew they could make $1 bajillion off of it. That is the only reason they did it. Oh my god, this is possibly one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of. I am very excited to see how this looks on the first. They open up their season on Monday Night Football. I am. This is gonna be hilarious. Lol, Raiders.
The Raiders are the Monday Night Football in week 1?
Monday Night Football, they open it up. Yeah.
Huh. That's funny. The Raiders are pretty funny.
See?
Yeah, I see.
Yes.
Against the Ravens. Very funny.
I gotta now do, as part of the podcast, the quick LSU baseball recap. We won the series at Auburn, won game 1 8-3, game 2 9-6, then game 3 Auburn won it 2-1 because we wasted the entire start by our pitcher when we couldn't hit the damn ball. Then in the midweek game against the number 14 team in the country, Louisiana Tech, we won it 16-8. The game was ended after the 7th inning due to rain and lightning in the area. And yes, I was praying for rain once we got the lead around the 6th inning because I seriously was. I was like, please come in, rain. Please come in. We're not going to hold this lead forever. We're just not going to hold this lead forever. And then it just comes down and I'm like, yes. Because we are now at 30 wins. That's a big number. We got Alabama coming in this weekend. It's the final weekend series at home. We have not won a series at home this year, and I don't expect us to, do it, but that's only because this team chokes harder than insert another thing that tends to choke. Now it's time to talk about, what was the other thing in there? Oh yeah, the NCAA circuses. There's been 3 circuses, and let's start off with the circus that happened today. The Pac-12 has hired MGM executive George Kliavkoff as their new commissioner. He was the president of entertainment and sports. This dude oversaw Cirque du Soleil. So I guess his new job won't require him to relearn how to run a circus. Because he will be running the Pac-12. You see, this is actually a decent idea. What's the main problem in the Pac-12? The Pac-12 network. The network that everyone can't see. You know what's a problem with your network? If no one's watching it.
You think so?
Yeah, there was no distribution for it. They had the press conference on Pac-12 Network, which is fucking hilarious. And like you saw it, and it was just a bunch of squished Zoom screens, and it's like, guys, you really made a good hire. He was an outsider. They wanted an outsider. Yeah, he's got a main specialty with entertainment. He's got connections. His previous jobs were at NBC. He worked with MLB Advanced Media. He works with legacy brands to try and bring them into the 21st century. I mean, he helped facilitate getting the Pac-12 basketball championships to Vegas. You might see some more games in Vegas. You might see the Pac-12 championship move to Vegas. Yeah. Like, Pac-12 wholly owns their network, which means they're the ones making the money off of it. So they can sell it, or they can do something with it, and then just start rolling in the dough. Because they got all of these events that so many people want to see that people can't see. And it's like, money, 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 money. And then, that was the first circus. Get it? Because Cirque du Soleil, ha 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 ha, I found a way to connect all 3 of these things. You see, then there was some incompetence because the NCAA canceled the Baton Rouge Regional of Women's Golf Championships. And that wouldn't be a circus. You see, it's rained over the last 3 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there was a ton of rain. So they had to cancel it, and then all the top seeds had to move on. Yeah, it was unfortunate. However, let's talk about the fact that it was incompetence by organizers that really caused this to happen. You see, on Sunday, it didn't rain. Everyone was here on Sunday. They could have played 9 holes. That's okay. I'm sorry, it hadn't rained on Wednesday. I forgot about that. When the announcement was made, it hadn't rained. They said, and I quote, "Even though the course is playable, it's not playable at a championship level." I'm sorry, what? It's playable, but it's not playable. Hold on. Are you following this?
It's just playable, but actually, it's not, you know?
Even though it was playable. One of the coaches went out to some of the fields and was like, "This is completely dry. This is completely dry. You could take that hole over there, remove the wet part, and make it a par 4 instead of a par 5, and it would be playable. You could do all of these things to make it fucking playable." But guess what? They didn't. They just didn't. So now, people are saying, just, like, don't ever host it here again. And I'm like, no. Don't not host it here. Just get the people who ran this thing off of everything. You're so stupid. Oh my god. How can people be this stupid? It's like, it's rained too much. Why didn't you play when there was no rain? You knew there was rain coming in. There were meteorologists who told you there would be rain. Why not play before then? And then when it's over, try and fix everything else. Like everyone else said you could have done? So this wouldn't happen. The thing that you could have easily avoided? Why did you let it happen? Are you dumb? Are you dumb? And just... and a final, are you dumb? But of course, we couldn't let this stupidity end without talking about the Northwestern AD disaster. So, about 11 days ago, Northwestern hired Mike Polisky to be their new athletic director. Now it's a linguistics professor. Now to be fair, he's not just any Joe Schmo linguistics professor already. His name is Professor Robert Gundlach. He's done this before. He did it in 2008. He's the school's faculty athletics representative. That's what the official statement said. He's been on several NCAA committees. That faculty athletics representative thingy means that he's representing the faculty at the NCAA level, at the Big Ten level too. So overall, he knows what he's doing. Don't just say he's a linguistics professor. He's not just a linguistics professor. He's a linguistics professor who knows what the hell he's doing. Though it is kind of funny that he's a linguistics professor.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. So, you gotta ask, though, how does a guy just resign after 10 days on the job? And he'd been at the university for a while. It was a promotion. So why did he resign? There were even letters of support for him sent by administrators, faculty, students, all of this. But there were also protests. There were protests against him. Now, why were there protests against, this guy? What could he have done wrong? I don't know. Maybe what you don't do is you don't hire a guy who's a defendant in harassment and discrimination lawsuits against the university. That would be a smart thing not to do. Because...
a good idea.
Yeah, because former Northwestern cheerleaders, they alleged many things. One black cheerleader says she faced unequal treatment for wearing her natural hair. She had to separate from other black cheerleaders for, quote, optics. Optics. I mean, fuck, she was told in writing, that those ethnically black hairstyles weren't allowed on the team. They had to They had to fucking sign a goddamn contract that explicitly fucking stated exactly how they had to wear their hair, and it pretty much banned anything you can think of that's fucking natural for black women. No black woman with hair would be shocked to hear that, by the way. They removed that beginning in 2019, by the way, for all of those who are just wondering about that. But still, they had to sign a contract. Former cheer coach Pamela Bonnevier called it an all-American look, which makes me want to scream and punch someone in the face. All-American? Really? Are you... Please tell me you understand how racist that is, Mrs. Bonnevier. How can you be that stupid? Really? 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 Oh, did I mention he's a defendant in a sexual harassment suit because a cheerleader alleged that officials delayed investigations after she was groped and harassed by fans? Oh, I didn't? I apologize for not having mentioned that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's a bad guy, but like, maybe you shouldn't have hired him. For all of this, which he allowed to happen. Just, no shit, there were protests. Even the new mayor of the city, the mayor-elect of Evansville, or Evanston, I can never remember, got in on the protests because he didn't think it was a good hire, because no shit, it wasn't a good hire. It would have been like LSU hiring anyone from within the university. But, yeah. Oh, speaking of LSU and this university, let me give you a little bit of a quick update. So we've hired someone, and now USC, South Carolina, apparently wants him back. So basically, during South Carolina's commencement, their president had plagiarized the commencement address. Plagiarized a commencement address. What? Who does that?
It's not easy.
Oh, it's very easy. You just find it online. And just...
It's not easy. Making up an original speech, you know?
No. I mean, it's not the only time I've heard of it. Eli Drinkwitz, when he was announced as the Missouri head football coach, he just used his speech from the prior year when he was announced the head coach at Appalachian State, and during the press conference, he accidentally said, "Win the Sun Belt," and was like, wait. Because it's like, but you can plagiarize yourself, because that's not plagiarism. That's just reusing. But no, he stole it from the University of Southern California, the other USC. The one that licenses it from South Carolina, and should never be allowed to call themselves USC. And if you're petty like I am, and you really want to get back at people who are at USC for no reason, that's what you do. You just never let them say it. But yeah, no, so he resigned. Now, LSU just recently hired, or named, they haven't put it on paper yet, named one of their administrators, William Tate, the fourth, to be our new president. And apparently South Carolina wants him back because he's really good and we wanted him and they want to have him. And it's like, it's just, God damn it. Just please, can we have this? We have much more institutional drama than you do. Trust us. We need this more than you do. You can figure something else out. We have Title IX investigations and a bunch of other crap. You guys are just a bad school. Please let us have this. I just realized it's 8:03 and we never went through some other stuff with the scheduling, so let's actually get back onto that because we never talked about the Chargers schedule.
Ooh, the Chargers are funny.
So let's get this up and let's talk about this schedule and what you think will happen, because I'd like to hear your thoughts, and I mean I can jump in with my thoughts too on what you think the Chargers might be doing this year with this schedule.
Yeah, I definitely am pretty excited. It'll be pretty interesting. in terms of strength of schedule, the Chargers are pretty mid. Uh, we'll be facing the
I got it up
yeah,
on the
you can
stream.
see. Yeah, we got the. I guess we'll just go through it. But basically, it's the AFC North, the NFC East, and then division, and then a few others as well. So to start off, we have two NFC East matchups. The FedEx Field Washington team and the Cowboys. I think these first three games are all really interesting. Washington, Dallas, and Kansas City. Washington is very scary. I am afraid of them. They probably will win the division. I think the only other team that's really looking pretty fine would be Dallas. I think Dallas could definitely be good. But yeah, Washington, that's just a good test, you know? Like we were both 7-9 last year. They got to go to the playoffs because they cheated by being in a bad division. We
They
didn't.
cheated by not getting injured and everyone else dying. Well, no, wait, they
Yeah,
did
they
get
just
injured. They did get injured. Who am I kidding? Look at their quarterback situation.
yeah. The Giants just kind of went ham. They took out Dak and then they took out Kyle Allen and stuff. It's like kind of mad. But anyways, yeah. Would I expect the Chargers to win? I don't know. The Chargers will be like warmed up. We'll be healthy. That's a big thing. Last year we lost Derwin James, Drew Tranquill, who was a pretty up and coming baller player on the defense. The offensive line, as you know, was very accursed last year, but now it's better.
That's actually,
Things are
yeah, that's a
better.
really good point, actually, about Washington being a great test, considering new offensive line versus that defensive front of Washington.
Yeah, that will definitely be a very good test. Just to see what that offensive line is made of. Because last year we did have like some pretty cool free agent acquisitions that, suffice to say, didn't pan out. Hopefully it'll be different this time, but hey, if it's just the same deal as last year, then I guess it's better to know that earlier rather than later. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. Washington is scary, but I literally think the Chargers are good. We may not mesh immediately, right? This is Brandon Staley's first year as
And
head
shortened
coach.
preseason,
Yeah, shortened preseason.
which makes me only
They have
hate.
to get all that stuff online.
Oh my god. One of the worst parts about the
Yeah,
shortened preseason that
it's
people
not
don't
easy.
think about is the turf. Because remember last year when the 49ers just died on the field in MetLife? That turf gets some use in it during the preseason. That's important because you gotta wear that turf in. They always gotta make it. It's always new. They gotta get some work in on that turf. Always gotta make sure of that shit. Alrighty, especially if you're uh, like if you're an indoor team, that new turf ain't helpful. All of them, frankly. So if you only get one home game, you're kind of getting screwed
Yeah,
in the preseason. Anyway,
it's pretty whack. But yeah,
really good whack.
we'll see. If I have to guess, I would say Justin Herbert is freaking balling, and so we'll win. Hooray. That game. Anyways. Dallas. Dallas is scary, man. It's the home opener. I think no, our first okay, yeah, now I remember. But yeah, the Dallas is a little scary. They're getting Dak back. And like obviously they were bad last year, but like with Andy Dalton and that accursed defense and all that stuff considered, going 6-10 is like not
This
even
was a
that
team that looked
bad.
way. Yeah, I mean, remember how they looked with Dak? They were like, oh, oh God, this team is good. And then without him, they were like,
Yeah.
and except for the Browns game. In the Browns game, that was like, oh, oh, this team has to have Dak Prescott or they will die.
Yeah,
And then we saw
definitely.
exactly the correct answer. It's like, oh, yeah, I was 100% right about that. This team is fucked.
So yeah, they're getting all that back. Now they have that entire draft class on deck for the defense. I think they signed a few people as well, like
Mm.
Keanu Neal. Haha, get it. But yeah, that's all funny. That's all cool. They're literally scary. I think we could definitely lose here. But I don't think either of those games matter at all as long as we win week 3 against the freaking Chiefs in Arrowhead. Revenge game because they suck and we'll just beat them. This is like, yeah, this is the first, you could call it proper Herbert versus Mahomes matchup because the first time last year, Herbert went in two with 2 seconds prior notice. He did not know he was going to be the starter. That whole story. Tyrod gets like his uh, lung punctured
Yep.
like 10 minutes before the game. So then Anthony Lynn walks up to Herbert, tells him, "All right, pal, get in there." And Herbert's literally good, brings Mahomes and the Chiefs to overtime, where we lose to like a 50 something yard field goal. Pretty unfortunate. And of course, that was the first Chiefs game. The second one, they rested everyone, had Chad Henne start. So that doesn't really count either. This is sauce. I don't care if we start 1-2, as long as that one is the Chiefs. That's super possible, I think, because we beat them technically last year, and we're really good versus them,
I mean, Chad
generally
Henne
speaking.
did beat the Browns, so.
That's true, and we beat Chad Henne, so we're basically super good. But yeah, I think that's a super important game, obviously. If we win it, we have the tie break before we like face them again way later. And yeah, like I said, starting 1-2 with that one being the Chiefs win is a lot better than starting 1-2 with one of those other teams, the Cowboys or the football team
Yeah.
being the win. So yeah, definitely the first you could call it real game. Uh,
Then the
and
Raiders.
it's huge. It's huge.
Yep. Then the Raiders.
Yeah, then the Raiders at SoFi. Yeah, the Raiders freaking suck. So we'll simply beat them. Unironically, it's like we did not. Yeah, we lost to them last year off of a botched touchdown call with 0 seconds left. That's always funny. And yeah, that just means that they are pretty. They're okay, right? Like Derek. You can't get those confused. Derek Carr is pretty good, and he does legitimately carry his team sometimes. But yeah, I think they only got worse. Honestly, I think they're the one AFC West team that got worse this off season.
Much worse.
Yeah, between the very whatever draft, between letting their entire offensive line leave. Yeah, that's pretty rough, buddy. So I don't expect the Raiders to be that good at all, and we should be able to beat them pretty solidly if the Chargers are as good as I think they are. Then the Browns, that's scary. The Browns are good. They're literally good. And my goodness, man, how are we gonna beat the Browns? They juiced up their defense with like freaking Greg Newsome and JOK and John Johnson and all of that free agent signing stuff. I think they're gonna be a ridiculous team next year. I think they're I think they could obviously win their division and yeah, they got to the AFC championship or not the championship, the divisional game. And they basically won if not for the miraculous legs of Chad Henne. So yeah, that's just scary, man. What a scary game. What a scary team. I don't think we win that. I think the Browns are super. super contenders. They were already super good, and of course, they got so much better, I think, over the off season. It's just crazy. Then at the Ravens are cool and funny. They have the rushing attack. They got Ron, no, Rashad Bateman, right?
Yep.
For Lamar Jackson. That's another. It's just scary. Taking on the AFC North in general is scary, other than the Bengals, arguably, but they can also be pretty tough, I think. So the Ravens, I think it could be pretty close. I don't think. I think that, yeah, the Chargers could just overpower them, right? I think we do have the superior offense, and the defenses are pretty like they're both good. I'm gonna say the Chargers defense is good, should be good, especially if Derwin James can stay healthy. And
Don't forget Asante Samuel
yeah,
Jr.
oh yeah, yeah, we're pretty juiced up, man. We're pretty balling. So I definitely think this is winnable. Uh, More winnable than the Browns game, man. Browns are scary, I think. Then it's the bye. And yeah, I kind of had it's kind of it's this start of the schedule is just really hard in general, right?
Yep.
You have the Chiefs and the Browns and the Ravens and two up and coming NFC East teams who I both think are good. I think the only real given, if you can even call it that, because it's a divisional game, would be the Raiders. Everything else is pretty scary. And then we enter the bye, and we face another scary team on Halloween. Patriots, dude. Oh no. Oh no. Who cares about who might be starting or not? Cam Newton dropped like what's it called? Yeah, like 31. That offense, that accursed offense that did Jack Diddley last year, dropped 31 on us. And then the special teams dropped an additional 14, which is horrible. That's horrible. For what it's worth, I can hope that the Chargers special teams will be better than dead last, which is what they were last year.
They'll be
However,
31st.
yeah, any improvement is
Any
good
improvement,
improvement.
please. I'm dying.
It really should be noted. Michael Badgley led the league in missed kicks for like most of the year until Champ Bailey. No, it's not Champ Bailey. It's Dan Bailey. Dan Bailey
no,
overtook him at some
no,
point. I
Champ
don't
Bailey
know
is
when.
gone, but no, Dan the Champ Bailey is now his preferred nickname. Legitimately,
Yeah,
I'd say it's one of the worst I've seen, but I've seen worse. I have seen worse in person. Because the worst
yeah.
I saw was Zane
We
Gonzalez against the Saints in 2018, where he missed 2 field goals and 2 extra points in the fourth quarter. And it
pretty
ended up
funny.
costing them the whole game. I mean, great story about that. There's a Browns fan behind me, and he had missed 1 field goal, 1 extra point already. They score the game time touchdown, and I'm like, yeah, you can be. It's just like, he's got to make the extra point, and he just blows it. And I'm like, anyway, back to my funny little
Yeah,
thing. Yeah, Patriots are not going to be a fun game.
it is not at all gonna be fun. Bill Belichick's just a menace, dude.
Mac
You know that whole
Jones.
joke. Yeah, you know that whole thing they like to throw out about
And plus,
his
yeah. And then the
yeah. It's like last year they were
Eagles.
like, wow, Bill Belichick is so good against rookie quarterbacks, and he is. He did in fact shut out Justin Herbert, the freaking offensive rookie of the year, only to lose to Tua the next week. Yeah, that's pretty rough, buddy. But anyways, the Eagles, yeah. Eagles are next. This should be winnable. Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, same draft class. That's always funny. Um, yeah, Eagles kind of suck. I really, I really don't think they're that
They
set
need
up for
help.
success.
A lot of help.
They really do. So again, if the Chargers are as good as I think they are, then this is definitely a win in the majority of circumstances. Unless we need like Michael Badgley to hit 4 field goals, in which case he'll miss 3 of them, and
Not
the
if they're
last
chip
one
shots.
will
He
dink
doesn't
off
miss
the
chip
upright.
shot field goals. That's the thing about Michael Badgley. He isn't like one of those other kickers who's like, no, he doesn't miss chip shots. It's just that they give him bad positions to hit the field goals. It's just that the offense stalls out at exactly the wrong point. Michael Badgley's field goal range is exactly like 47 yards and in. If you put him out exactly 1 yard back, he's gonna miss it.
Yeah,
He
it's
just goes
like
buzzes, buzzes,
yeah,
buzzes,
the stat is that he's never missed 40 yards or lower. However, once he reaches 41, it's over. It's over, dude.
Yeah.
It's a curse. Michael Badgley might be the bane of my existence
Hashtag money
sometimes.
badger.
It really should be noted. It really should be noted the unspeakable things he did versus like the Raiders and the freaking Saints. Remember the Saints game?
If your
All that
if
sort of
your
stuff,
kicker misses
man.
the extra point on the first kick, you're probably gonna lose. Something
It's
bad's bound
oh
to
man,
happen. Something's just gonna come back and bite you unless you blow that other team out. Because it's like, oh, oh shit.
yeah. Yeah, but that Badgley can hit 33-yard field goals easy, but 33-yard extra points, so that's a different situation.
You're
But
not
yeah,
worth 3 points. It's
Eagles is
not
very
worth it.
winnable.
It's not worth it to make them. It's like,
Next is the
bro, my fantasy scores so much better when I hit field goals.
oh man, could you imagine having Michael? Could you imagine having Michael Badgley on your fantasy team? That's very rough.
You have to pick a kicker. So, or no, wait. Yeah, you do have to pick. I think you do. Like, imagine just picking the Chargers defense / special teams. It's like you get the Chargers defense and special teams.
And the
You are
it's
a
really
risky
funny.
person, or you are very dead.
Yeah. Please just be better, Michael Badgley. The funny thing is that he's kind of like icon for the Chargers. Like whenever the team needs to like conduct interviews between players, Badgley is the one who is hosting the interview. Just like yeah, he had interviews with like Herbert, with Feeney, who was our center last year, like with all these various players. He seems like a cool guy. Right, like I watch these videos and I'm like, wow, he has the hair, and he's pretty smooth talking, and it's like, wow, what a cool guy. But then I watch the actual thing that matters, the football games, and he just loses, and it sucks, and I get mad. What a predicament. But hopefully he gets better this year. After the Eagles are the Vikings. This is, fun fact, the 17th game that we get from the funny, that sort of deal. The NFC North equivalent from the third place. Since we got third place, we get the third place matchup, which is the Vikings. And that's always funny. This is funny because, yeah, Vikings fans are forever mad that their funny Justin Jefferson season got snuffed by the absolute hero, the better Justin Herbert. You definitely love to see that. And you also love to see the Vikings get plowed into the ground, which we are going to do
Hey, you know
when
what a
we face
bad
them,
thing is
hopefully.
when you just don't have a pass defense? It's just not a good thing. And especially when you're playing a team like the Chargers who live and die by the throw.
Yeah.
Or maybe I forget who their running back is. It still.
It's Eckler,
Oh,
essentially.
Eckler. Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But this is a team that does
Eckler
way
is
better.
solid,
Yeah, he's solid,
and
but
hopefully he'll do better now that we have an offensive line. That'll probably help him.
please have an offensive line, though. You need
I
to
can
make
only.
sure it is an offensive line and not an offensive line.
Man, last year sucked. Herbert had to run around, and we had no running game because we were putting in freaking Trey Pipkins at left tackle and all that other garbage. What a nightmare. But
Wasn't
hey,
he at one point the only left tackle contracted on the roster?
I'm 99% sure that's true. It was like Trey Pipkins, Sam Tevy, Dan Feeney. Oh man, uh,
That
it's
was in the
like
off
there's a
season,
reason.
granted. That was in the off season, but like, yeah.
Oh yeah, Try Turner. Try Turner's the worst one.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's gone. All of them are gone. Well, not not Pipkins. Pipkins is still here, but those other three
The
are gone
legend.
for good reason. Yeah. Yeah. Vikings. We just shoved them into the ground. Steelers. That's the. I think that has to be the Sunday night game.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Yes.
SNF.
Yes. Oh yeah, I see now. So yeah, Sunday night football against the Steelers. And I think we could totally beat the Steelers. The Steelers kind of suck. They're kind of
Hey,
it's like
remember how
last
last year like they had uh I mean the Chargers had no O-line? It's like that but with the Steelers. And
yeah,
they
it's
have an
like
over the they have that over the hill quarter. I honestly don't know how the Steelers are going to win more than 6 games this year.
it's very rough. They even have the hardest schedule, I'm pretty sure, in
They have
terms of
one of the hardest.
strength of
Yeah, it's like,
schedule.
hey, so you have basically nothing, and we have to give you the hardest schedule because you were good last year and you didn't get a bye week. Because 2 other teams couldn't handle their COVID cases. Lol, sorry, bye.
Having to face or being in the same division as the Browns and Ravens is just very rough.
Imagine,
And
imagine saying
yeah,
that 5 years ago, uh, being in the
that
same
is
division
really
as the
funny.
Browns and Ravens.
The Browns.
Because yes, being in the same
Yeah.
division as the Ravens, yes, it's always been true, as the Browns. But you used to be able to count
Browns.
on like 4 wins a year, 3 wins a year at least,
Yeah.
and then
Almost 5 years ago. Yeah, a
almost
solid 5 years ago, then they were 1-15.
4 years ago they were 0-16. And we'll get to my
How
joke
far
I'm
they've
about to.
come.
I'll get to the joke I'm about to make about that. But then you got the Broncos. Jeez, the weirdness.
Yeah. Steelers are very beatable. Big Ben was able to make up for the lack of offensive line with like how absurdly fast he threw it every play. But that doesn't really matter because it should be harder to pass. Their offensive line is worse, I think. Even got there, like
They had two
starting guard
guys
or something.
who left because of the whole retirement thingy. They lost their center because of
Yeah, they
retirement,
lost their center. They
and
decided that getting Najee Harris was better than getting an offensive
they
line.
decided getting a
Pretty
tight
rough.
end was more important than getting a center in the second
Yeah,
round.
all
I like it would have made sense to get Najee Harris and then go for a center, but you went for Pat Fryermuth.
it's okay, guys. Pat Fryermuth will save this franchise. Yeah, it's really funny.
You couldn't
Speaking of
have
funny,
been
you have the
smarter.
Broncos.
Yeah.
Broncos, man, I hate the Broncos. They're my least favorite after what happened like week 7 of last year. I had hope. I want to point this out. We faced the Bengals and we beat them with Tyrod. Shouts to him. We're gonna be facing him later this year. Uh, then we lose to literally good teams. We lose to the Chiefs, we lose to the Saints, we lose to the Bucks, and that's all cool. And it's like, all right, hard starting schedule, but we'll bring it home after this bye week. So then we have the bye week. Then we beat the Jags, which is not an accomplishment. We now know, but when we only had one other win, it was pretty cool. Then we had to face the Broncos, and we had like a 21 freaking point lead against Drew Lock and the Broncos. But guess what? That's right. Drew Lock just casually makes the comeback, wins on the last pass of the game with 0 seconds left. Pretty sure they had the lead for 0 seconds of that entire game, and they won it. So yeah, I hate Drew Lock. I hate the Broncos. I wouldn't even mind if Aaron Rodgers comes to this division because it means that we don't have to face freaking Drew Lock and his
Hey, Teddy
stupid,
Bridgewater's probably going to be
poopy.
the starter, though, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true. And we lost to Teddy Bridgewater in the Panthers last year. So that's not exactly a vote of confidence. In addition to all of this, their defense is literally good. Like, it's super good. It's the sort of thing that's like, yeah, we could totally just lose. Like, Herbert does struggle against those really proficient defenses, right? That's why Tua beat Herbert last year. Not because of freaking Tua. Obviously, he didn't do anything, but because the defense shook up Herbert. That's why Herbert got shut out against the Patriots. He hopefully will get better at that sort of stuff. However, really proficient defenses are obviously really hard to beat. So the Broncos will be a problem. Oh yeah, another thing, Brandon Staley, right? The funny new head coach. Guess whose protege is, or rather, mentor, right? Protege is the other way
Vic
around.
Fangio.
His mentor, Vic Fangio, head coach of the Denver Broncos. So they'll both roughly have an idea of what the other might be up to. And I think that'll just be a really interesting thing to see go down. Go eat. Okay. But yeah, pretty cool, pretty interesting, pretty scary. I just hope we win. They suck. We should beat them. That'll be pretty good, I think.
And then the
Then,
Bengals.
yeah, then next we have the Bengals. The Bengals are pretty funny. This will be the first Herbert Burrow matchup. That's obviously a big thing. Last year,
If
it could
if
have
if
happened.
Burrow's healthy, that is.
It, please, man. I really
Please
feel
don't
for
kill
Burrow.
this man, please.
They,
I'm
they, they,
begging you.
I, yeah, just please. But yeah, assuming that Burrow is healthy, this will be their first matchup, which is obviously a big thing. Last year we did face the Bengals, but that was Tyrod one game, as one starting game as a Charger. Yeah, so that didn't happen. So now it'll happen this time. The Bengals kind of suck a little. They do have Joe Burrow, and that is cool. But Joe Burrow beat two teams last year, somewhat unfortunately. So no, he didn't even do that. He like, no, I think he did beat two teams. He just tied against the Eagles as well. That's pretty funny,
In
all
a
things
game in which
considered.
both teams punted in the fourth overtime. Damn it!
Overtime, dude. It's pretty accursed.
The
But
oh my
yeah,
god.
the Bengals, they're obviously not nearly as menacing as the rest of the AFC North rather, other than the Steelers maybe. But they're up and coming. They're obviously worse than us, I would generally say. They did in fact have a really bad record last year. Meanwhile, the Chargers freaking balled and won their last four games. So that's really
Only
cool.
making it. Well, then again, they still got Rayshon Slater, but maybe if they kept falling like that, they could have gotten a Panay Sewell.
Imagine, dude. That really might be a blunder, you know.
Or
Joey
Rayshon Slater will
Bosa
end up
will
having a
in
better
fact,
career.
Yeah, Joey Bosa will in fact have no mercy against that accursed offensive line, and he really just might take Joe Burrow out of commission. You never know.
I mean, they did just hire a mechanic. They're. Oh, wait. Who was it that drafted Carman?
Car man.
I'm not even
Might
kidding
have
you.
been
There's
the
a guy named
Bengals.
Jackson. There was a guy named Carman that actually got drafted. God, it's
That is pretty funny.
834. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Then the
So that should be very winnable, I
Giants.
think. Then the Giants, these next few games are very scary. The Giants, not nearly as much, but the important thing about the Giants is that they're the game before the Thursday night special. You see that? Only 4 days in between. So that's just generally scary. Hopefully we can just put the Giants down. That'll be manageable, and it should be manageable. Again, like I
Daniel
said,
Jones.
there's not too much reason to put faith in Daniel Jones. And Herbert is balling. The Chargers hopefully will be good. We did have a better record than them last year, although
That
they were pretty notably
that was
injured,
last
so
year.
who knows? Yeah. So yeah, the scary thing about the Giants game is that it's basically the short week or prior to the short week against the Chiefs again, dude. Chiefs. This is obviously going to be big. Uh, maybe we are balling and maybe the division is down to this game essentially. That could be pretty scary or pretty cool. It's at SoFi Stadium. We lost at SoFi last year, week 2, that sort of deal.
Hmm.
However, yeah, I definitely don't think it's reasonable to expect a sweep of the Chiefs, unfortunately. However, we're so good, man. We're so good. We beat them last year, and we almost beat them last year in week 2. And it's like Mahomes
You beat
barely
their
loses, but guess who
backups.
he lost to? Guess who he lost to? Freaking uh, funny Mike Williams 2-point conversion way back when. That's always funny. Yeah, basically, the Chiefs suck, and we're gonna beat them because we're balling. Yep, it'll happen. Just you wait. Herbert, wait, when's the? Oh man, that's funny. I've heard that stat about Mahomes being perfect in September, and guess when that first Chiefs game is against the Chargers? Freaking September 26th. So hopefully we can put him down then. And hopefully we'll put him down in December as well. I don't really expect to win the division.
No.
Obviously, the Chiefs are broken, and they only got better in the off season, essentially. And yeah, jeepers. But hey, if anyone's gonna beat them, it's gonna be us or one of the other division guys. That's all they lost to last year. So we'll see. Then, uh, yeah, the day after Christmas, we face the Texans, and the Texans are funny, mainly because they suck and are almost. I really do think they have to be the worst team this year, man. It's just very, very rough. And assuming Watson doesn't get off and do his thing anyways, regardless of what's been happening, they're probably going to be facing Tyrod, which is a little cool. He did only play one game, but hey, that was a nice game. I gotta admit. So yeah, we should obviously beat them into the ground, but you never know. It's just funny for the Tyrod thing. That's basically it. Then the final 2 games are both divisional games. First against the Broncos. Again, the Broncos are scary. Vic Fangio is scary. Uh, again, I really don't think their offense is anything to worry about unless Anthony Lynn is actually secretly still the head coach, uh, unbeknownst to me. in which case it might be. But if that's not the case, then we're balling, then we're good. It might be a slug, it might be basically a battle of defenses, like it was last year in our second game against the Broncos. That was like a 19-16 win for us. We couldn't get that much production, but we got enough. And Badgley did, in fact, hit all 4 of his field goals. So that's pretty cool. Might be the same thing this year.
So.
Then the Raiders.
Fine.
Yeah. The Raiders. We beat the Raiders. Raiders suck. Screw them.
So, final record would be. So.
I think we will. So, yeah, I think we'll lose once to the Chiefs. We can say we lose once to the Broncos because the Broncos are scary. I think we lose to the Browns. We lose to one of the NFC East teams, probably like Dallas or Washington. So that's 4 losses so far. I think we could definitely lose to the Ravens as well. Otherwise, I think we're pretty clean. I literally think our team is good, and we totally could lose to other up-and-coming teams like the Raiders, technically, like the Giants, I think are fine. Maybe we lose to the football team.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, something along the lines of 5 is our ceiling, probably.
Yeah.
Or maybe like 13-4, and something like 8-9 would be our floor.
This
Something
is a
among
team
those
that's
lines.
definitely going to be much improved from last year. Well, it is 8:41, and so we've been running for a while, so I'm going to wrap this episode up. Thank you for hopping in, because I literally had nobody else to talk about things with, and I had literally no idea where I was going to go with this. So yeah, y'all know where to find me. Just check the description. I'm not going to do that whole outro thingy. Thank y'all for coming out, people who did come out. I have been Bench Leader. This has been Goal to Go. And until next time, bye-bye.